Hello again, I'm Stephen Jerome. I'm going to continue reading from my third novel, The London Year. This is part 89. I was asleep in the employee lounge when I woke up and found the big resting room empty. I'd overslept again. I raced out, flew down the stairs 2 at a time. I'd become an expert. Double-timed through the perfumery's heaven glow to find business as usual in frosted food my presence hardly missed. Someone said Tess had called and I should call her back. Now was not the time because we were so busy, but not long before closing Tess appeared. "We have to talk," she said, and we met a short time later at the employee entrance. She was quiet as we walked to our usual lunchtime sandwich shop, which at this hour was practically empty. "Where were you last night?" she asked as we took a table of our choosing. "Finn and I went out for a pint," I lied. "How's he doing? Gracie said he looked—" "He's thin, but he's fine," I said quickly. "Well, I'm not, Terry." "How do you mean?" "I'm uncomfortable down there." "You're late?" "No, I'm not pregnant, if that's what you mean," she said impatiently, as if I was already missing the point. "I'm just... something's not right." "Oh," I said dumbly, because any other words would have rung with the guilt that suddenly washed over me. "I'm seeing my doctor in an hour." "Well, that's good," I replied. "Maybe you should too," she said. I was silent, or went silent. All the words that could be said, the accusations, the fears, distrust, disappointment, the hurt she felt, was left unsaid. Yet even in the silence, I was guilty as charged. No matter that I'd never knowingly put myself at risk, my extracurricular sex was virtually contact-free. I'll leave it at that. No fucking, no kissing, a moral crime perhaps, but I didn't think it put me or Tess in physical danger, unless it did. Nothing I could say would change what was. Then she handed me a piece of paper. "What's this?" "Call them," she said flatly. "I've already made an appointment. They'll be expecting you at 6:30. I have to go." Then she got up and walked out. The clinic wasn't far from Wandsworth Bridge Road. On my way home, essentially, Tess had thought of everything, and I was expected. A young doctor took me to a private room. He poked a swab into my urethra. I peed into a small plastic cup. Results would be back in an hour if I cared to wait. The tests were negative, so I hadn't been wrong about my reasonable caution. But it was hardly good news. I called Tess later. She asked me about my visit. I said I was fine. I asked about hers. She said they diagnosed a yeast infection, nothing too serious, but not before she detailed the entire invasive procedure, including the part about hiking her legs up onto the stirrups to expose her vagina to the inquisitive male doctor. She wanted me to feel the humiliation, and God knows I had it coming. But I couldn't tell her that. An entire quadrant of my life was lived in secret. Yet even that was not entirely true, because in certain places I was indeed a familiar face. But worlds did not collide. Until a week or so later, when they did. Ooh, thickening plot here. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Thanks for following along. Bye.